What's going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you're a returning subscriber, as always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate support. Guys, we got some news in the Ralph Yarl case. If you guys don't remember Ralph Yarl, he was a young man that was shot April 13th, 2023, when he went and knocked on this man's door right here. This guy's name is Andrew Lester, now 86 years old. This guy shot through his screen door and hit Ralph Yarl, who knocked on the wrong door looking for his twin brothers who were at a sleepover. He was supposed to go get them and bring them home. Ralph Yarl knocked on the wrong door. This guy shot him in the head and shot him in his arm. And this guy was arrested. Now, Andrew Lester's trial was supposed to start this upcoming Tuesday, but he just took a plea deal to, I think they said, second-degree assault, because he was originally, his trial was for first-degree assault and armed criminal action against shooting Ralph Yarl, who I think they said was 16 at the time. Either way, it was a crime that shook the nation. Everybody was talking about it, and a lot of people was on different, sides of the fence as far as self-defense But, I mean, the thing's wrong all the same. Now, he then just took a plea deal, and I'll show you a video that explains everything to you guys. In my opinion, no matter what amount of time this guy gets, it's a death sentence. Because if you look at how he was when he first got locked up to how he is now, in a short matter of under 2 years. And I'll explain why I think he does. It's a death sentence. You will see what I'm talking about. Take a look.
Tonight, a guilty plea from Andrew Lester, the man who shot Ralph Yarl in 2023 after the teenager mistakenly rang the doorbell of the wrong home while trying to pick up his twin brothers in Kansas City, Missouri.
This outcome ensures accountability for the defendant, provides closure to Mr. Yarl, and satisfies the need to achieve a just result in the case.
The 86-year-old seen entering the court in a wheelchair, pleading guilty to second-degree assault, a felony that carries a maximum sentence of 7 years in prison.
The state will be requesting a sentence of 5 years incarceration.
In the courtroom, Ralph Yarl and his family. Early in the hearing, Mom Cleo Nagby putting her arm around her son.
I have mixed feelings. Everybody thinks it's a big day, but it's a big day that was too delayed.
Explain that.
Well, I knew he was guilty. He knew he was guilty. Why did it take 2 years?
In April 2023, Lester shot Yarl twice through the closed storm door of his home, telling police he was scared to death when the teen rang his doorbell just before 10 p.m. Yarl, who was a high school honor student at the time, was struck in the head and arm. He survived but has permanent physical and mental injuries, explaining to NBC News' Antonia Hilton last year.
Would you say it's been harder to physically recover or mentally recover?
Definitely mentally, but it's a constant uphill battle.
It's a long road, but he's strong. He's not just strong, he's very, very strong.
The dramatic update in this case coming just days before the scheduled start of the trial that saw repeated delays.
I have twin boys that are 13-year-olds. Since the incident happened, these boys have never gone on another play date.
Really?
No, they've never had friends come over.
Nagby now pushing the Clay County prosecutor to ask for a longer sentence in this case, saying they've always believed race was a factor, even if it wasn't mentioned in the original charges.
So if he's putting his word down for this black kid, he needs to fight with his guts, and he needs to fight for him with everything that he has. This is not just about Ralph. I say all the time, Ralph is alive for a reason, but Ralph was just a human that was, God just saved his life so that people can see that we need to do more.
Shaquille Brewster joining us now from Liberty, Missouri. You can hear her heartache, Shaq. When could we see sentencing here? And the family also, it appears like, is pursuing civil litigation as well?
That's right, Sam. The sentencing is scheduled for March 7th, and really it's up to the judge at this point in terms of what that sentence will be. State law allows for anything as light as 1 day in jail, or it says actually, and or a fine, all the way up to that maximum 7 years behind bars. You heard in that story there that the state prosecutor is going to be asking the judge for 5 years in prison. But talking to Yarl's mother, you really heard the pain in her voice. And she also said that this is going to help bring a sense of closure. This is going to help Yarl move on as he's in college right now and live the life that he wants to live. But she made clear that the fight is not over. There's that civil litigation against both Lester and his housing association that alleges he was careless in his actions. But she says she also wants this to start a conversation around gun violence, around racial bias, and around the value of life, Sam.
Yeah, important points, as you heard, that her kids are going to be carrying this trauma now for a very long time. Shaq Brewster, thank you so much.
As you've seen it, he took a deal prior to Tuesday's date for him to start trial. He took the final deal. And it don't even matter to me. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to say this first, because I'm going to talk about two different topics in this video for you guys. First thing is this. Thank God this young man made it. When I did this story, it was very upsetting to even hear that. Under no circumstances should anybody face death knocking on the wrong door, especially when it's an honest mistake. I told you before when I covered this story before, and I said my piece on it. I think this guy right here, reclusive, Andrew Lester, what was he, 83, 84 at the time? This guy right here is one of them people that watches the news, sees all of the stuff that's happening, and in their head get an idea of how the world functions and how the threats are out there, and he was living in fear. That's just my opinion. This guy is already old as hell. He ain't got that many years left. And you sit in the house, you watch the news, you see how the world is different from how you came up. Everybody's guilty of that. The world is constantly changing. And a lot of people see it for the worst. And in your mind sometimes, if you're not careful and you're reclusive, it can warp your sense of reality. He knocked on the door. I'm more than sure he seen Ralph Yarl there. And he shot because he saw a black dude. Now they saying race might not play a case. I believe it did. And I think it's what he sees on the news and all this other stuff, and this generalization of how he sees the world. He saw a black guy at the door. He probably thought it was a home invasion. It's a lot of them or something crazy. And he was scared. I think they said in the original story, he told him, I will shoot you, and shot him before Ralph Yarl could even respond. The boy was going to go get his brothers from instruction of his mom. He just knocked on the wrong door. That should not have put him through what he did. And he did go through that. And just like his mother said, shout out to her. You could tell that's a classy person. And she said, hey, she thinks race played a part, but his heart's still beating for a reason. I believe that. And that's the thing. A lot of you people out there, me too, we went through some horrific things, whether we were children or adults, and everybody has a story, but you're still here. I want you to think about that. You're still here. The history of yourself is not totally written off. Every day you wake up, that's another page in your book of life. What you do with that, you know, is up to you. Yeah, a lot of people have had deep scars. A lot of them that won't heal. But you can live with the pain and turn it into positivity for your benefit. This young man was shot in the head and the arm. I never saw him speak or anything. I only saw him in the hospital bed. He speaks well. Said he's in college. Good for him. Like I said, I respect his mom. She could get on TV and say whatever she wanted, but she sat up there classy as can be. And as the lawyer said, Ralph just wants closure to this, and it'll bring closure to him. If he likes it, I love it. Who am I to even speak about that? Because I didn't go through that ordeal he went through. You hear what I'm saying? Now let me talk about this guy. This guy, Andrew Lester, I'm more than sure he knows he made a mistake that cost him his life and freedom. Now, I want you to look at how he looked before at the mugshot and after in only a year and a half, a little over a year and a half. Look at his body. Look at his face. Jail is a young person's game. I realized that when I went to prison at 27 years old and everybody was in there looking like you too old to be in here. You know what I'm saying? It's a young person's game. When you're young, jail preserves you. Of course, it keeps you off the streets. A lot of people don't have access to the drugs and the stress of running the streets like they was doing before. And it's more regimented or organized to an extent to where it stops people from destroying themselves sometimes. When you're young, it preserves you. But when you're old, it destroys you. And that's your proof right there. In a year and a half, he went from looking old as hell to decrepit as hell. Regardless, they push him for 5 years. He will not make that. I will be floored, ladies and gentlemen, in a prison setting that this man makes it. He came in walking a year and a half ago. Now he's in a wheelchair. The stress and the pull of just being incarcerated with this new generation, you know what I'm saying, that's out here, of heartless felons, you're seeing the effects of it from this guy. This guy was in his home, regular homebody, reclusive man. Now he got to share cells. He got to share all types of stuff and being in an environment of what he didn't like and was scared of while watching TV and chilling at home in his house. The fears he had in the world, now he's existing around it 24/7, and you see what it's doing to him. This guy will not make 5 years. Whatever he gets is a death sentence, because you can see the deterioration of his mind and his body. That's all I got to say about it. I'm glad he survived, and I'm glad he's going on to do bigger and better things. He didn't let what happened to him stop him in his progression in life. And neither should any of you guys out there. I say a lot of things on this channel, and a lot of people don't understand where I'm going. Hell, half the people, I say one thing, they turn the video off. But if you pay attention to what I say, a lot of times, I go from here and I go to there. And no matter what, it always comes full circle. And it's a message behind everything I say. Yeah, sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's crazy, but it's still a message. I'm glad this young man made it. I'm glad his family loved him and they rallied around him, the community rallied around him. And shout out to everybody that did that. This guy got a good mom. You know, I don't know what the dad is. They even showed him, but he's surrounded by love. He's surrounded by people that, you know, are positive from what I've seen. And most importantly, he's surrounded by people that love him because he matters, just like everybody else out here. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. You never know when you can make an irrational decision and it can cost you your life or it could cost you your freedom. See you in the next video. Take care.